through the vine.
Hello, my name is Cameron Taylor, and today I'll be telling my testimony of faith through college. When I first started college, I initially had the idea that my faith was going to be really tested through different situations and through the devil tempting me through, for example, going to parties or like alcohol and drinking, and just certain situations that would lead me further into sin. However, once I actually started college, it was more so dealing with temptation, especially with like schoolwork, not tempting to just give up on schoolwork, to put everything down just to like not do well in school because I was so stressed out through classes. However, through like this period, it really taught me to really become more stronger in my faith as I've been in college. When I was first starting school, I had to first of all deal with the tremendous more load of work, homework and stuff like that during school, because compared to high school, it was much more than what I expected. And so being all of a sudden bombarded with all this schoolwork, it really took a toll on me for like mentally, because I would just keep feeling as if I wasn't smart enough to be in the school because of how much homework and how much I would feel I was falling behind in other students in classes. And so the biggest tribulation I had to come over that was to realize that I'm just like everyone else. We're also all learning the same, but we're all adjusting. And from a faith standpoint, I had to trust in God a lot because I was worried I wouldn't be able to succeed in college. However, one particular verse, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5, to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, really showed me that even though we may feel like we are like not like everyone else, we have to trust in the Lord because He's the only one who knows our plan for our future and what we're going to be going through. From the beginning of the school year, my faith was, I would say, at a point that it wasn't low, but it was to where I wouldn't necessarily go through each day, praising God for the little things because I just, never really thought about it as much. And so, however, now it's like after every single moment I pass through college, I just have to stop and sometimes pray, no matter what I'm going through, whether it's I'm going through a tough time, a tribulation or a trial, and just really have to think about that we have to always be thankful for what we have, because to even be at the school where we are now, it's a huge blessing. And even just these small issues that may come across, you may think like, oh, we can handle them on our own, but ultimately we need God to handle every situation in our life. We have to pray for wisdom. We have to pray that we just be able to find God's path that was dedicated for our life and stay on that path without being taken off for different directions or in different other paths that might lead us to a place where we might sin. And so at the end of this year, so far I am right now for this semester, I feel as if my faith has gotten significantly stronger because of those small moments and tribulations that I faced along the way. So for those that also are curious about God and want to really get more involved and build their relationship with God, I would strongly suggest even just indulging in His Word, because that's where all the truth is within the Word. And so the best way, especially to build that connection, is to become further indulge in the Word of God, and to really focus on building that particular relationship. Starting to pray, that will also build that relationship with God, and will be able to get you closer from a relationship standpoint. Prayer is a really large part of how I began my journey as a Christian, and I've seen many different times where prayer has resulted in absolutely amazing blessings, amazing situations being turned around. And so for example, here's an example from when I was growing up too. I would always pray to find the others would find God, and God will lead them closer to Him and build a relationship together. And so there was a friend of mine who was far from God, and she had fallen on the wrong path. She was hanging out with the wrong group of people. And I would always pray for her that she would end up finding the right group of people, Christians, and that will lead her closer to God, because she originally once was a Christian, but then had just fallen off the path. And so I remember this so vividly. I got a text message from her one afternoon, and she was saying how she said thank you. She said thank you for leading me closer to God, because I would always tell her just God is always here no matter what. He loves you regardless. And if you really find truth in Him, if you really find Him and build that relationship, He's going to protect you. He's going to keep you. you're one of his children. And so I remember that message. She texted me. She said thank you. She said how she's gotten closer to God and how she's noticed God has changed every single thing about her life. She was once doing, she was depressed. She was doing alcohol, drugs, and then after she found her life with God and dedicated herself to God, she stopped all that. She stopped drinking. She stopped taking drugs, and it was just such a beautiful moment because she overall was so much happier. It showed me that like prayer, if you even just pray, have faith as small as a mustard seed, as said in Matthew, the book of Matthew, it can change things significantly. It can change situations around.